on and getting ready to go. Okay, so welcome to Blur's Day. The days are just a blur. And I cannot keep what day it was. And so yesterday we did, many of you tuned in, this bee. See the bee? This bee sign. And I showed you the technique to do it. Super, super easy. And I was telling you, we will work on the edging. I have an idea for the edging because I just left it raw wood. It's just a plain piece of wood. Okay. We painted it, put the bee on. I showed you the technique. And I told you I was going to go in next week and show you the edging. Thinking all day, yesterday was Thursday. Well, today's only Wednesday, so I was kind of confused on my days. So we're going to go ahead and do it today. Now, I've been doing this technique. I love just taking a piece of wood and putting some kind of art on it. It's easy, it's inexpensive, it's something that we have laying around, a lot of us anyway. Even when I lived in an apartment, I always had a piece of wood laying around somewhere. So I was always trying to do something with it. Well, this technique I didn't do until I made this sign. And I'm going to show you this. This is clunky and it's big and it's heavy and it makes a lot of noise. I made this sign when I first started blogging. This is actually 2 pieces of wood. Okay, oh, you can see right there. 2 pieces of wood. The top of it I didn't even finish. It's scrap wood. Look at the back of it. It came from an old dresser I had made years and years ago. I took the dresser apart and turned it into projects. Okay, and it's clunking around because it has a huge rusty saw blade in there. There's a saw blade that spins around. I put this DIY home blogger, and then there's a window here. And on my saw blade, I put different things, like is asleep at the computer and covered in sawdust and whatever it might be, just kind of little witty sayings. And I love the sign. The only thing is, to be able to make it, I had to put an extra piece of wood on the edge so that my saw blade would spin. And I've got washers and stuff in there to keep it from let it spin and everything, which I really like that. But I didn't like the edge. The edge was just kind of ugly, and I just had a piece of scrap wood I stuck in there, and I thought, what am I going to do with the edging? So then I got the idea of putting burlap on it. So I just put now I didn't put burlap on the top. Usually it's hanging up high and you can't see anyway. But I put burlap on the edge. And I loved it. So since then, a lot of times when I'm doing something like the bee, thanks for the hearts. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And if please, if you know someone else that might enjoy these videos, you're welcome to share it with them. I like having a lot of people around the craft table. As you can tell, I'm doing it on Facebook here. I'm doing it on YouTube over there. And I'm also filming a video up here. So I like to bring in a lot of people to the craft tables. So you're welcome to share this. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I do to get burlap around my wood. Now, this one here, again, I only did the sides. Well, first of all, I couldn't do the bottom of it, and the top you can't see. So I didn't worry about that. But since then, I've done it to quite a few different things where I don't really like the side. I wanted something different than it to be painted, because I could just paint this white and it would be fine. But I just kind of wanted something different. So I know this is 1.5 inches. Because it's a 2-inch piece of wood, and they cut it at 2 inches in the mill, but then when it dries up, it shrinks down that 1/2 inch. So that's why it's 1.5 inches. For the most part, it's a natural product, so all of it's going to be a little bit different. So I know I need burlap, and burlap comes in so many different colors. Sarah's watching. Hello, welcome. Burlap comes in so many different colors. I mean, this one here is very, very yellow, okay? And I've got some that's a little bit green. I mean, and I'm sure there's probably even colors out there I don't know about, since our small community doesn't have a craft store of much value, I should say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this. But anyway, you can get different colors, I'm sure, of burlap to match it. I should check my Amazon store. That's my Amazon is my craft store. I'm going to kind of go around this, find out how much I want, and then go about 1 inch more, okay? And I'll show you why. Now, this piece of burlap, I at one point had it in a wreath. You're so creative. Thank you so much. I got to stay creative or otherwise I just go nuts. This used to be really, really long and it was in a wreath and I had already frayed the edge of this burlap quite some time ago. But I took the wreath apart and I've been using this bit by bit and it's not, oh, hi, Crystal. Hi from North Carolina. Welcome. I love North Carolina. I used to work for Nabisco and we had, our home office was there in North Carolina. So I got to go there a few times, but all I know about it is from the airport to our hotel, our meetings all day, back to the airport now. So I didn't get to spend much time there, but the little bit that I saw, loved it. Okay. So I pulled out a little string that gives me that little line to follow. And that way I know that I'm going to get kind of a straight cut. Okay. Oh, and you're seeing something off to the side. I did want to share this with you. This is what I did with Chalk Couture this morning, just a few minutes ago on drop cloth. And this is all I did. I just kind of went over the technique for putting it on fabric and ironing it and everything, getting it heat set so that it's washable. But tomorrow I'm going to finish that project. And tomorrow I will also show you how that project turned out because it's going to be awesome. Okay, so I'm cutting this down using the threads. If anybody's got dogs, your dogs are probably reacting a little bit right now because I can hear my dogs. Let me know when you tune in, where you're tuning in from. And I don't worry about all the extra fray. Fray to me is just extra fun stuff. So that's okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I know that's going to be 1.5 inches. So I'm going to grab my ruler and probably go about 2 inches on it. And pull it out. Maybe a slightly over, maybe 2 1/4. You know, rough estimate. Nothing fancy with it. Okay, I'm gonna pull this out. Now, just to remind everybody, tomorrow I'm going to be doing some projects out at the workshop. I'm going to share a project with you outside at the workshop, and then on Friday I'm going to let you peek into my workshop so you can see. Kind of the mess. Actually, it's not as bad as it was. I wouldn't share it with you if it was as bad as it was. Actually, I probably would, but I did want to kind of clean it up and get to where I can start working in it. Okay, once you've got that line, then I can, and I hope you can see, can you see that line right there? It's right in. It's right in here. Once you pull that thread out, that gives you the perfect line to cut this because it's just woven, you know, so it's super, super easy. Drop cloth is another fabric that's pretty easy to do, except it is harder to pull the threads out, but you can do it. Okay, so I'm going to cut this. Now this project, you do kind of want to get it straight. I'm having trouble cutting and sitting down. I'm going to stand up for a minute and get over this so I can see my line and cut this. Can you hear the dogs? Sorry. If you've got dogs, they may react to this. Also, if you're watching live, you will see the live button. I'm here and I'm doing this live. If you're watching on replay, give me a hashtag replay. If you don't see that live button, that way it just lets me know that you're there. And also leave comments because sometimes I give additional information. Afterwards, I'll think of something. I'll go, oh, they need to know this. And sometimes Facebook will let you know, hey, someone recommented on there. Okay, so I got that cut out. Probably should have had that prepped to begin with. Now, you can do one or two things. I can leave that as is, but I want fray on both sides because this is a block. It can just stand up. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to hang on the wall. It can just sit on the shelf too. So I really like that. So I'm going to make it fray all the way around. So I grabbed about 3 pieces and I'm just pulling them out. Maybe 4. Kind of just keep pulling it till you get the same amount on each side. Okay. And then all it is, I usually like to start. Hi, it's Sandy from Alabama. We almost made Alabama in March. We were on our way in the RV, by the way. We were in the motorhome heading towards Alabama. We were going to go to Tennessee. We were in New Orleans, which was fun. I've always wanted to go there. But all of a sudden, March got scary. And I looked at Mike and I said, let's go home. So we did. We packed everything up and we just got home as quickly as we could. That was about the middle of March. So very, very scary. So Alabama, I've never been there, but I'm going to get there. Our motorhome is actually a Tiffin, and they are made in Red Bay, Alabama. So, and if I keep saying Alabama too much, my Okie accent's going to come out. But we really do want to go to Red Bay and just take a Tiffin and just, kind of check out all the different motorhomes and all the different things you can do to it and everything, because we absolutely love it. And by the way, my t-shirt is RV Renovators, which is in Mesa, Arizona. That's where our RV is right now. Just getting maintenance type stuff. Nothing. I'm going to take that back off. You need a good amount of glue to get that to go on. You could also use hot glue. Hot glue and burlap go together like you wouldn't believe. I've made a cushion for our living room, and the base of it is just basically burlap. And I put all kinds of threads on it. It's a shaggy cushion. And I put tons and tons of twine and yarn and stuff all over the burlap. But when I made the base for it, I used just the burlap, and I just took my footstool, the ottoman, and hot glue, and I made my seams and the seam underneath so that the burlap wouldn't unravel. Just used hot glue to sew it, basically. And it's been probably 8 years later, maybe 7 years later, and it's still doing great. So hot glue would work too, and it would actually be a little bit quicker. Now, this craft glue does dry clear. Late was doing crafts today. Good for you, Debbie. I'm so glad you were doing. What did you make? Let us know what you made. Debbie is so creative. I love it. I love it. I love having a group that just, finds inspiration. I've got a lot of friends. Oh, that's scary, huh? Sorry, the dog went running. I have a lot of followers that are new to crafting and are just kind of, getting used to working the glue gun and, doing different things, which I love that. I love bringing so many people to the table, and I love getting inspired by some of the crafters that's been doing it for a long time. Your sign. Oh, okay. We got to see a picture of their sign. I'm sure it came out better than mine. My handwriting is horrendous, and I was brave enough to do a sign live with my handwriting. So imagine what mess that would be. Okay, now I've got this little bit left over, and I stretched this as I go, so it's a little bit longer too. But I'm just going to take some of those frays out, and I like actually just leaving a little bit of that there. You can take it and cut it down and make it match perfect. But for some reason, I like fray, ruffled. I don't like everything to be perfect. I guess that's why I've always liked a rustic kind of a style. So I'm just going to make sure I've got enough glue, kind of tap that down in there. And there, I've done my edging for my sign. Isn't that cute? I really love this technique. It's super, super easy. What are you making? Okay, Debbie, I don't think you watched yesterday's video. Yesterday, I showed how to make this. Did I do it upside down? Yeah, I did. I'm showing you upside down. Okay, anyway, so I've got my part up here. That's okay. Talking and not paying attention. So yesterday, I made this bee sign. We did the stripes, and we did a stencil where the bee's partly gold and partly white. So it overlaps. I cheated and used the wood letter that I tell you what, that's a good idea too. When you've got handwriting like mine, using wood letters is a great way to go when you're making a sign. Okay, so, and I kind of like this over here. What I could do even, you could take a little bit of, let me grab this on. But I could cut just the tiny, this is trim. And I love trim. I'm a trim girl. Look at this trim I put up on the wall. I mean, the wood beads. It's rather big. But Home Depot has lots of different trims. It's so much fun. But I could cut a piece that was 1.5 inches long and just set that right in there just to kind of finish that off, just that little bit. I think that would be kind of a cute little way to finish that off. You could cut them if they bothered you. Again, like I said, I thought I was putting it on the bottom, but I didn't. But see, that's just kind of a unique way to kind of finish it off. I can set this on the mantle on a shelf, and now you're seeing some white in there. That's just my glue, still not wet, or still not dry. But as it dries, it will turn clear, so you won't be able to see it. Good morning, Nicole. Welcome. So, yay! Welcome to Blur's Day. Now, don't tell me about stores in the U.S. I miss them. I know. I tell you what, Debbie, we're missing them too. Most of them have been closed. So, no, they're starting to open up. So hopefully everybody will open up safely, and we will take our kind of personal distance. I always hated it that they called it social distancing, because we need to be social, but personal distance, we can handle that a little bit. I wish they would have called it that. Anyway, so there it is. As I look at this would also be, see, I always come up with other ideas. You could also edge it off with a ruler, especially these old rulers like that. Welcome to my world. Yeah. Debbie lives in the Netherlands. She doesn't have half the stores like what we have. And she lives on an island. How poor Debbie. I would trade places in a heartbeat, believe me. We all have Amazon. But you could also edge this off. Rulers come in a lot of different sizes, a lot of the vintage ones. I don't have one handy, but I have one that actually apparently came from a funeral home that someone pointed out, that's a little bit wider. So you could actually even edge it with that, which would be really charming. So just use your imagination. Just go for it. Another thought, just not keeping you guys too long, is just heavier twine, not necessarily your wool. This is actually twine. It's very soft and flexible. A lot of times your size of rope's kind of hard to bend around a corner, but you could wrap several layers of this around that too. It would be really, really cute. So Debbie, take a second, and anybody else who missed yesterday's video on how we actually made this bee, it's very, very easy to do, but you do have to just kind of let your mind not overthink it. Okay, check that out, and I will see you tomorrow. Actually, in front of the workshop, we're going to do a quick little workshop project, and then on Friday, we're going to do a peek inside my little tiny she shed workshop. So tune in then, and I will see you guys tomorrow at the same time. Bye, everybody.